Hello everyone, my name is Ben at TV Parts Today, and in today's video we're going to be teaching you how to remove the back as well as the boards from this Insignia unit. It is model number NS-50F501NA26. If you have vertical lines on your screen, we're going to be teaching you how to swap out the TCON board. If you are not experiencing any power to the set, we're going to teach you how to swap out that power supply. We are going to be going step by step, plug by plug, the entire process all the way through, and let's jump right into it. So we have the back of the television laid out here. The first step is going to be to get all of the screws removed from this back plate. Looks like we got two here, about 4 in the back, and then 1 right here by the power plug. Insignia televisions usually will have a couple of wires that are connected to the back plate. But first things first, let's get these screws out of here and we'll move on to the next step. So we do have all the screws removed now. There is a little bit of a peculiarity here. This is actually 3 separate parts. So we have the middle section right here, and then the 2 sections off to the side are actually individual pieces. So we'll just kind of loosen them up a little bit, get them kind of out of the areas that they were set into. There we go. And we are going to go ahead and get this middle part taken off here and leaned up. And as you can see, this is what I was talking about, where we have the plug that is set, it's connected actually to the back plate. So we don't want to just force this up or pull it up. We're going to risk breaking this connection to the IR sensor here. We definitely don't want to do that. So this little plug right here, we're going to depress with our fingernail or our finger, and it just comes right out. We can set this whole thing off to the side. I do believe at this point we do have enough of the back cover off to be able to go ahead and swap out some boards, but just to make ourselves some more space, we're going to get the speakers unplugged as well. And these are just small black clips. This one is under some tape. So get that tape up. And these small black clips, we just depress the little lever here with our finger or our fingernail, and they come right out. And that does give us access to the boards in the back of this unit. The first board that we're going to be removing is the main board. And the first step for removing the main board is to get all of the plugs and connections away from the board. So for this guy right here, there's a lever on the back that we're going to depress with our finger or our fingernail, and it pops right out of that connection. Same thing right here, we're going to depress that lever, pop it right out. This is the ribbon cable connection. We're going to lift up on the little black flap with our fingernail that pops it up, and we're going to very gently walk that ribbon cable connection out of there, no problems. These two are similar styles as these two. There's just a little flap on the back that we're just going to press down with our finger and then move the whole thing out of the connection. And now that we have all of those out, we're going to go ahead and hit these screws, and that'll be it for this board. So after we get those 3 screws out, we should just be able to kind of finagle this board away, and that's the main board in this unit. Next up is the power supply board, and much like the main board, the first step for the power supply is going to be to get the various connections away from the board. So both of these are very similar to the ones on the main board. We're just going to depress the little flap on the back with our finger and pop that out. Same thing right here, depress that with our finger and pop it right out. Now that those 2 are gone, we've got about 4 screws and this should be finished. After the screws are out, we should just be able to lift up on this board, and that's the power supply. Last up is the TCON board. So the first step for the TCON board is going to be get the ribbon cable connections away from the board. We're just going to lift up on these little flaps with our fingernail. They pop right up. And after that, we should just be able to very gently walk these ribbon cable connections right out of there. Might have to give it a little bit of finagling if they've been in there for a little bit. Same thing with this guy, just walk it right away from the board. Give ourselves a little bit of space here. This one's being a little stubborn. If it is, just be very patient, be very gentle. We don't want to cause any damage to the ribbon cable connections or the actual ribbon cables themselves. Last step here is going to be to get the 2 screws out, and this TCON will be finished. And that's going to do it for this TCON board and this television. That's going to do it for today's video. If you have any questions about this or any other TV repair, you can give us a call at 930-212-1975, or you can send us an email to info@tvpartstoday.com. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.